Hello, this is MTMon with another lesson of the science of art. Now then, this lesson is going to be on perspective and perspective drawing. Very, very simple stuff, but today I want to just take you through how to do, like I did in the previous video, 2 points perspective and how to create a small town, city or village of some sort. You will find an introduction to this video in the Science of Learning lesson 2, where I talked about how to draw a cube in perspective and how to shade in said cube with the correct lighting and so on. So, shall we begin? Now, those of you that have seen my videos and seen that second lesson will know you want to start with a horizon line. I just want to let you know I'm using an A4, A3 setup so it can match your what you're working with. A single point perspective. I said 2 point perspective. I'm going to do a single point perspective today, so your vanishing point will be around there or something, right? As is our plan, we want to create a cityscape using perspective, and I'm going to show you how. Make this nice and small. And what you want to do is, if you're on pen and paper, get your ruler, or in Photoshop just hold the shift key, make a selection there, go there, just do this a whole load of times, so loads of lines, loads of lines, loads of lines, kind of like this. Now you're probably thinking, why on earth have I drawn a star in the middle of nowhere? Well, you're about to find out. So we have our horizon line, we have our perspective. And yes, you could label these perspective, horizon line, blah blah blah, doesn't matter. For the purpose of this video, I'm just going to keep this nice and simple. The next stage is, I'm just going to lower the opacity down a small bit. So, well, actually quite a lot, by 80%. And I should say that if you have drawn on your lines with pencil or pen quite thickly or heavily, fortunately, if you don't have a pen, I'm sorry, you probably need to start again. But a pencil, if you don't have thickly, you should just ease it back a bit. Take the rubber, take it down a peg. You know, turn it back a little bit. If you feel like you need to start again, it's okay. Right. The next step of the process is, of course, to start building your buildings. This is quite a fun part, to be honest. Oh, I told you need to do that. So I'm gonna zoom in just a small bit. There we go. Oh, zoom in a little bit. There we are. And then just kind of bring everything into focus. Turn my brush to black. Okay, all good. This, I don't have any pressure sensitivity. It's just basic little drawing. That's all we do. Now, one thing to know is that everything that is parallel with the horizon line, so everything that is horizontal will be parallel to the horizon line, and anything that is vertical will be perpendicular to the horizon line. So for example, let's say I want a building here. I would hold down my shift key, like so, hold it down, and then draw in the line there. And so I want to now drop in my perspective lines. Now then, I want to place the second one along here, like so, and here we have a simple shape in perspective. Now I will draw the verticals of this building, and these of course are perpendicular to our horizon line. So then I'm just going to draw those all the way down, just to give you a feeling as to what it would look like. So here's our little building. Okay. So my next building, I feel like I want to draw something that's a little bit further along and a bit taller than this building here. And this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a little point there, and I want it to be parallel to my building, so that gives me, the distance. And now let's figure out the height of this building. I think about there will be wonderful. Will be wonderful. Right. So then I want to go from here up to about the same height and take that line, and then take these two verticals, continue them down, continue this one down, and of course it's in front, so it's going to go all the way down. And now I want to get this into perspective. So what I'm going to do is put this here, put a point there, that's the top of my building here, put that across to there, and we've got this line here, so we're going to go bing, bing, and we've got, let's just approximate, so we've got our little guider about there, I'd say. It's a little off, so we will redo and adjust about there. That looks a bit right. And then we just throw in our horizontal parallel to our horizon line. So we've got two little buildings. Isn't that wonderful? And then of course next we want to start adding some more buildings, right? So I'll do that now and then cut to when I'm finished. Right, I just want to come into here and to say that sometimes you might not have a marker which is obvious for your perspective drawing. And so obviously you could come into your layer and add another line, like so, and just go from there and then just to there, and you'll see, oh, I was slightly off there. Oh, that's close. But as long as, this is important, as long as this distance is longer than this distance, so this is shorter than here, and as long as it is clearly in perspective, to be honest, you don't need to worry about it that much. Right, so as long as you show an image in perspective where it's longer or wider at the front nearer to the viewer and it's thinner towards the vanishing point, you really don't have anything to worry about. So I'm going to progress now, drop in a few more buildings, some over here, and add a bit more density to this painting or perspective drawing. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so I'm back, and as you can see there's a whole load of rectangles that look nothing like buildings. But what I'm trying to show is how to draw a collection of shapes all into perspective. Now, to be honest, I could work into this and add some funky little, like, here's a window, there's a window, here's a little chimney, because chimneys are cool. Just start to sketch a little bit more into this cityscape that I've created. I can then add a UFO or a flying saucer or something and say, look, the aliens are coming, they're going to kill us all, and do whatever I want to. The joy of this is, though, now that you've got it all in perspective, I could say draw a spacecraft that comes in like this or something, in perspective, right? Yeah, you're starting to get it all now. And because I've got these perspective lines on, it's a whole lot easier just to drop things into place. So if I wanted a King Kong over here going rah, I can, estimate where I can place his feet here in perspective, like so. And maybe I want to have his fist like that. That kind of fits in there, like so. These little arms. There we go. Look, King Kong and airplanes and UFOs are attacking my little city. And like so, just adding little details. And then, obviously, when you want to move on from this and start to add a bit more tone, I'm messing up that completely. You just kind of get a mid-tone grey, and you start to fill it all in. The stuff nearer to you is going to be darker than the stuff further away, but that's something else for another lesson. I'll get onto that in another day, another lesson. So don't worry about that. Of course, if you do subscribe, you will be notified about when the next lesson is up, and you will then find out when. Or just go to my channel and you'll see if it's already there or not. Me talking about how light it gets less the further it goes away, because you've got atmospheric perspective and so on. So then, like this, you want to then just throw in some shade on top, like so. A little bit there, a little bit on here, a little bit on there. And so now it looks terrible, but it shows you the general idea as to how to draw in perspective. And when we take away the red lines, you can see but quite clearly this works as a drawing. This all works thanks to the magical art of perspective. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next lesson. Ta-ra.